Hey guys, how's it going? Octopus here and welcome back to Genie Cross. All 5 Foretellers are out now. We're going to talk about the 2 new ones, and then I'm going to give you guys my final say on what I feel about these medals and if they're good or not. Now, that doesn't matter to any of you guys. If you guys want to pull for them, you pull for them. I'm just going to give my, I guess, opinion on if they're going to be worth it. Because last year when the Foretellers medal came out, they had interesting stuff on them, but they just didn't seem worth it, and I'm getting the same feeling again. But before we start this video, tonight in exactly, it is 5:30 right now. So in exactly 4.5 hours, when you guys see this, it should be 4 hours. The game's being updated to 3.0.0. So that means you're not gonna be able to do your daily quests. You're not gonna be able to do your Moogle pull. Make sure you guys do all of that. So warning right now, make sure you do everything to be safe. In the next 3 hours, it's shutting down. 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. PST, I think that's the times. But let's jump into the Foretellers. So starting off with HD Gula. It's exactly just like what I talked about yesterday. Snake Mama HD Envy over here. Gula and Aced are exactly the same. The only difference is Aced gives 7 for power, strength, 7 for speed for Gula, and Envy gives 7 magic. Same thing with the defense down, magic, speed, and power. That's the difference between the 3 of these. It just depends what attribute you guys want. In all honesty, I prefer the speed or I prefer the magic. Magic sits pretty close in the beginning for a couple Keyblades. Fairy Stars at the end, but he does have overwrite, so you got to keep that consideration if you have anything else after him. But he will make anything else after him. All of them will make whatever after them into according attribute. So if he does overwrite all your power buffs and all that, and you have a power medal in the spirit slot or next after him, he's going to change that medal into a speed medal. Same thing with Aced here. He'll change it into a power medal, so on and so on. And you guys can see they do kind of their opposite. They'll lower the enemy's speed attack because they're super effective against speed, so you're going to use power versus speed. He's going to do it for magic because he's super against magic, and then Envy over here is going to do for power because she's super effective against power. These 3 medals are exactly the same. These shine for PvP. They all do the same thing, 34.15, not crazy damage, but I still think these are huge contenders for defense boost 6. And if you want to use them as your main buffers, you don't need Kari Kai. You can put 1 on each on your according attribute. So if you have a PvP week where it's all speed or speed, power, magic, you'll have 1 buffer for each. The only issue I have with these medals is that Kairi does all of this. Kari Kai and Xian Kai does all of this. Like, if you look at HD Era here, the only thing he's got going against everyone else is that extra percent, 20% guilt, and I don't think that's going to be unique to him. That's definitely going to come out to another medal, and again, being the second best AoE medals, you can't go wrong with that. They're going to be used for a very long time as the second best AoE medals. I just feel Overwrite's going to start hurting people, especially if they raise the buff cap. Now, I think they kind of like debunked the buff cap, that it's not going to happen. But they also said the new Kairi wasn't going to come anytime soon, and then boom, Kari Kai and Xian Kai came out of nowhere. So we can't really take what they say to full context, right? So I still think HD Ava is the best one. Some people didn't get Violet or Mrs. Incredible, and even if you did, wouldn't you prefer an attacking medal that also buffs your defense and lowers the enemy's attacks? I would prefer this over Violet or Invisible, or just use a combination of both because she doesn't have everything for general attack or the Foley for attributes. So she would go first, and then your other defensive medals will go after. But you have a huge attacking defense medal like she was last year. Everything else from here, including last year, we didn't use them. Again, Era's 20%. I can care less, to tell you the truth. We're going to have more attacking medals or a new buffer that's going to do that as well. Kairi raises general attack. Kairi raises power attack. Kairi raises upgrade attack. Kairi lowers all this as well, and Kairi even lowers enemies attack. Like, let's go look at Kairi real quick. So let's take away AoE, let's lower this and that, and Kairi should be one of these options somewhere. So Kairi and Xian, sorry, I'm not just saying Kairi, but look, 7 up, 7 up, 7 up, 7 down, 7 down, 7 down, and 2 attack down as well. The Foretellers aren't really worth it for their buffs and debuffs. You're looking at the Foretellers specifically for their AoE damage, and in PvP, you're looking at them for 3 turns. Now, a lot of you guys mentioned my last comment section, like, oh, people have Kari Kai and Xian Kai, so this doesn't matter. Karikai and Shiankai does not overwrite your opponent's attack. They don't lower the enemy's attack. So this stays, this stays, this stays for 3 turns unless they use medals like Man in Black or the Incredibles family altogether. Medals that race everything, Bell, stuff like that. That's the only time that's going to screw you over. And that could be someone's strategy. But when you look at higher rankings, when you get into top 3,000, people don't tend to do that. Certain amount of people do if they have a throwaway Keyblade setup. But for the hardcore players, stuff like this, putting defense boost 4, or sorry, defense boost 6 on this and having it on your first Keyblade setup in PvP will actually benefit top players. This won't benefit more players in the 10,000 and stuff like that. It will help in some situations, but if you want to start climbing, that strategy doesn't matter until hardcore PvP. At least that's how I would look at it, because in top rankings, everyone has like 3 big Keyblade setups with some turtling in it just in case, or a triple threat but with a full complete Keyblade instead of just a throwaway Keyblade. People have 3 full sets, so you don't really not have to worry about them taking away all these buffs. But that is a thing you want to take in the back of your mind, and that's why I still don't think it's really worth it. If it comes as a 5 Mercy, I consider one of these, specifically probably, yeah, I would say I'd probably consider Aced over here, or I would consider Envy, and that's just because of where they sit. Speed in the beginning, there's not much Keyblades I care about. Aced fits on the Fairy Stars in the beginning. You have third slot of the Fairy Stars over here as well, but you want to be right in the beginning, the first slot, so they replace Kairi, because basically what these Foreteller medals do is to replace your Karikai and Shiankai for specific quests and in PvP, because they'll do damage and they'll buff the rest of your Keyblade, because all they're missing is the attributes of whatever else you have on that Keyblade. But when you have prime medals take care of everything else. Look, raises 7 magic, lowers 7 magic. So if I have something like Aced here, Aced will raise his power and everything, and then if the next medal is prime medal, they'll take care of the rest. Even reverse, 3 up, 7 down. So a combination of these two is going to work out perfectly fine. You don't need Karikai and you don't need Shiankai. You have your buffer with full attacks. Now, another issue with these medals is that they don't restore HP and they rely on HP. And so does a lot of other medals. Not that one, but there's other medals that say does more damage the higher HP. So when it comes to 3 turns, multiple enemies in a quest like a high score challenge, if you don't replenish your health, the medals that need HP to do the most damage, you're losing out on that. In PvP, that doesn't matter, so that's why I prefer them in PvP, because in PvE, 3 turns doesn't matter. 3 turns doesn't matter in PvE. When you have Karikai and Shiankai in the beginning of your Keyblade setup, when turn 2 comes back, they're going to reapply everything with Overwrite. Turn 3 comes, Karikai Shiankai reapplies everything anyways, so there's no big deal here. All of this, in my opinion, is skippable. The only one I want is Ava, because Ava is future-proof. Ava is a defensive medal and a huge AoE medal all at the same time. You can't go wrong with Ava. Era, easily replaceable, only extra 20% guilt. There'll be more later. He does lower all of the defenses, which is cool, but again, Karikai and Shiankai, mercy pulls. They both have Overwrite, but Karikai and Shiankai do better, and you really don't need every single slot in your Keyblade to do the maximum damage. It just shouldn't work that way. And then if that's true, then we should never pull for a buffer again, and we should just pull for these attack slash buffers, which again, it could work out, but in all honesty, we all got Karikais and Shiankais right now, and this power is eventually going to be replaced. Eventually, they're going to bring on a new buffer with that. Eventually, they're going to do something else. Look at Naminé that just came out as well. Naminé has a special ability of making a random or single target medal into an AoE medal. So even so, their AoE damage isn't even that important when you look at this new Naminé medal, because a Naminé can make Bob and Jack, Sora and Simba into a strong AoE. Now, I know it doesn't count for anyone who didn't pull for Naminé, but Naminé might come back as a mercy pull, or they might make more medals like Naminé. So, to me, guys, the Foretellers, they seem like an easy skip. The only one I would consider is Ava, but besides that, the rest of them, it's either PvP strategy, extra 20% guilt. You can put them in the beginning of a Keyblade setup, and like I said, with a Prime medal, any of the Prime medals, they'll take care of the rest. Even though he only does power, whatever Prime medal you use for the rest of the Keyblade setup, they'll do the rest for you, so it doesn't really matter. In the end, guys, if you really want these medals, go for them. But I say, big skip, easily. If you want a little bit more strategy PvP, you don't want to skip it, because 3-turn buffs can't be erased unless they specifically put in medals for that, because Kai and Xiankai won't mess around with this. So this is pretty good in my opinion. I think Kai and Xiankai also don't raise your defense, do they? So when you lower the enemy's defense to 7, there's no way of them bringing it up. So even with this override over here, if you lower someone's general defense down, they'll stay with that general defense down. There is no raising it up, as you guys can see. They only raise attack. So when you use these Foreteller medals to do so, of lowering the enemy's general defense down, all that general defense down, upright defense down, unless they bring in medals that raise their defenses, they're not going to get all that back. And every turn for PvP, these are going to work out. So great PvP medals, great tanking / attack medal, just like last year, but at the same time, easily skippable, especially if you don't care about PvP or that extra little bit of 20%. It's not a little bit, it's a lot, but like I said, it will be replaced. So that's my Foretellers. Honestly, I prefer saving up for big attack medals. Like I said before, let me take away AoE. It's gone. So Bob and Jack, Sora and Simba, you guys are saying these are high score challenge medals. Yes, but you know what? They got the strongest attacks. I'd rather pull for banners while getting these medals at the same time. There's VIP medals that turned out really good. We have previous medals that we can still make really strong, and we still don't know what the future has. A 34 AoE multiplier seems absolutely amazing, but when you've got Nominee, when you've got the future to look forward to, these medals just don't scream future proof. They don't say I'm gonna be here forever, and that's what I really look for, especially for a 10 mercy pull or a non-mercy pull. The medals gotta be broken for me to consider 30,000 or plus jewels for a medal. Again, if you pull for it, it's great AoE damage. It's gonna last for a long time for AoE PvE content, which is most of the game, so it doesn't matter what you guys do in the end. But if you're looking for the best of the best, I wouldn't say they're the best of the best, but to each person their own, right? Let me know what you guys think down below about the Foreteller medals. I think I finally came to a conclusion for them, and if it does come, I'd consider Ava. But with incredible medals out, you can get away. If you're really turtling, you don't really need the damage. It's just going to speed you up. So even Ava is a skip as well if you have Violet and Mrs. Incredible, because your turtling means you're surviving, which you don't need that damage. But there's sometimes where you're turtling and you can't turtle everything, like the organization quests, assault dragons. You're able to turn an extra 2 or 3 turns, so you might need that damage, which Ava provides, as well as raising your defenses to survive those 3 extra turns. So it all depends what you guys want in the end. Let me know down below what you think. If you did enjoy the video, don't forget to hit the like button, and as always, thank you so much for watching. Keep on smiling, and I'll see you in the next one.